Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle, and got cakes on the griddle. Not made nothing but a funny riddle. Thank God I'm country boy. Yeehaw! Hello there. Welcome back to Dis-Cember. I'm Scotty. You're not, and we're looking at Son-in-Law. Yeah, that's it back there. Yeah. Son-in-Law. Starring Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore's back one last time. Well, actually, he'll be back again, but it's an animated movie and a sequel, and that's later this month. But for now, this is his last live action appearance on the show. So, even though Pauly Shore is credited in big letters on the DVD box and is credited as, really he's sort of the main character. I mean, we do follow him through part of the movie, but uh really our main character is Carlo Gugino's character, whose name I forgot. On the back of the box. Julie? No, not Julie. Becca, right? Becca? It just says straight laced college code. I think it's Becca. She she comes from a farming family in North Dakota. Yes, Midwestern representation. I don't live in a farming community. I live in a city. But when it comes to the farming side of Midwestern living, I think this is a great representation. I think it shows you, what is my son. It actually lives in that kind of area, sort of. The in-laws, as you want to call them, they live on a farm. So he's been around that stuff. I remember, he's just so matter of fact with stuff. We slaughtered chickens today. Do you know how much that would scar me to see a chicken's head get cut off? And he's just like, he's unbothered by it because he's raised with that. And I mean, I could watch horror movies, and I was like, oh, you don't want your kids watching those horror movies with the gore and the blood, and I'm just like, he lives on a farm with slaughtered chickens. I think moviegoer is going to be fine. Like, I don't think anything in the movies are going to be as bad. Although I have not shown him Terrifier yet. Those movies, no, he's not ready for those yet. Specifically, the first one, the hacksaw kill. Yeah, no. And the kill in the second one. I haven't seen the third one, so no spoilers on that. But apparently, there's a kill that's supposed to be worse than the one from the second one with the salt and the bleach and then. I have a feeling when I eventually watch Terrifier 3, I'm going to have problems with it because it just sounds like all they want to do with these movies is find ways to be nastier with the kills, and that's not. Look, I get it. You want to keep topping that one kill from the first one. You did it with the second one. You don't need to keep on trying it because, I don't know, I just feel like it's going to turn fans away if you get grosser and grosser with these. Anyway, back to this movie. So, like I said, when it comes to the depiction of Midwestern farming, I feel like it works. She, Becca, she grows up on a farming community. She's going to go to college. She graduates. She has boyfriend. I forget his name, but he's played by Dan Gauthier, who 1 year earlier played Jerk Guy in, was he a jerk lawyer guy or something, in Saved by the Bell Hawaiian Style. And interesting enough, Tiffany Amber Thiessen is also in this movie, so they kind of reunited. He was hitting on her in that movie. He was, yeah. And I reviewed that in one of the birth months. The continuity of that is all over the place because they technically filmed it after the show had wrapped up, but they got everyone to come back for that, but not for the extra episodes. Everyone is noticeably older in that, but it was after the show wrapped up before the college years, so you put it in there. But yeah, so he plays the boyfriend Zach. I'm just gonna call him boyfriend though, or something. I don't know. I forget it. Why do I have a hard time with names? Walter's the dad's name. Remember that. He's played by Lane Smith. Great Shades of Elvis. That's right. Perry White from Lois and Clark. And also, he was the coach. Jack, coach for the Hawks and the Mighty Ducks. But I just thought of something. Wouldn't it have been something if their college or their high school coach was Jack, and like the old Ducks have a problem with him because he was a coach of the Hawks, he was the rival coach, and but the new ones, the ones from the second movie, don't. So it'd be like Charlie, Cake Eater, Goldberg, Connie, Gee that all have a problem with Jack, but the new ones from the last movie are like, oh no, you got to give him a chance, man. You got to give him a chance. Could be interesting. I mean, I like how the third film turned out, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so she goes to California. Eventually, I'm gonna review that movie, and you're gonna get that reference. But I'm gonna keep doing it until then. California to college, where we meet our secondary main character, Crawl, played by Pauly Shore, and yeah. Okay, this is not realistic. I don't think. I've never been to college. I've been on a college campus in the summertime when we had like a summer thing. But I feel like this would not be how things are. Just everyone in the hallways, everyone everywhere, lots of noise. I don't feel like it would be that hectic. They want to portray that this is the city. It's not quiet like it was before, but this is just too much. It's overkill. Overkill. Day after day. No, I get sidetracked. Did I mention I have ADHD? I mentioned that before. That's why I often go on side tangents. Just so you know. Oh, we know. Okay. So so yeah, she meets Crawl and she's a little put off by him at first, and then they sort of connect at a Halloween party, which by the way gives us a cameo from Brendan Fraser as Link. And I guess I think he has a cameo in the Army Now as well. I've seen bits and pieces of it in the Army Now. From what I saw, it's not bad. But that means that these three films are connected. You know, um, if they're all done by Hollywood Pictures, I could see. Like that means there are three different Polly Shore characters that all act the same. You could say like they're cousins or something. Like Crawl is Stoney's cousin, and they're the cousins of the guy from In the Army Now. I would have just made this Stoney. You could have had a franchise, or at least a trilogy, following Stoney. Because, this is a year later. They would have graduated, right? Stoney's now in college. He meets this girl. He's all alone, though, because David is with Robin for the holidays, and Linkage is with his cave nug. So now he's all alone, right? And so he goes back to Becca's house for the Thanksgiving. That makes sense. It would work. And having him enroll in the army would also be something that you could do. Like maybe he's hit rock bottom after Becca broke up with him, and he goes into the army as a last resort or something. I don't know. But to say all three of these take place in the same universe means there are three characters that look, act, and talk the same. I'm just saying. But you could also say that this is just not Link, but someone dressed. Hey, I saw the movie Encino Man. I want to dress like him. Although he sets the frog on fire and eats it. So I guess it is Link. I don't know. He has no dialogue. He's just that's it. There's no lines, but it's the same wardrobe. So he probably filmed this right after or back to back. So it's like, you know. I also want to point out that it is a crime that they cut his hair for in the army now. I guess they had to because it's in the army, Anyway, and then he never got that hair back. So, to kind of paraphrase what I said about the Stony version, it is very similar, but I'll go back in it. So they connect, and to help her break out of her shell, he takes her to get new clothes, new hair, and even a tattoo. I don't remember what the tattoo was. I don't think we see it. I don't know. But, yeah. And let me say something here. I've had a crush on Carla Gugino since I first saw her in Spy Kids when I was like 13 years old. Or whatever it was, right? What was that? Came out in 2001. So I'd have been 13? 10. I'd be 14 that year. 2001. Because I'd be 10 in 1997. So 8, 99, 2001, I'd be 14. So when I first saw her when I was 14, I have had a thing for her. And yeah. I think I mentioned this, but like, she was on Spin City in the first season as Michael J. Fox's girlfriend. Something about her performance in there and just how gorgeous she is. I don't know. She's hot. She's old enough to be my mother, but, it's a thing. And she is gorgeous in this movie, by the way, even with the... Okay. So I understand getting her to dress like him and the hair, but I don't think, and they go way too far with this, I don't think that she needed to talk like him. Same thing with the other characters at the end of the movie. Like, Walter, Lane Smith going, time to munch on some grundage. I'm just like, no, you didn't need, I get it. He's endearing himself to these people, but you didn't need to. There's at one point that the grandpa starts making a speech, and he's using some of Crowell's words, and I'm just like, no, we didn't need to have them start talking like him, right? The little brother's going, or whatever, that sounding I can't do, or that kind of, I don't know, whatever that sound is. But yeah, so because he's gonna be alone, he's got no family. His parents are kind of deadbeat people. His mom is, at least. She takes him back to the country for Thanksgiving. Yes, this is a Thanksgiving movie, so it's up there with Planes, Trains, and Automobile and Rocky. Okay? Yes, Rocky's a Thanksgiving movie. Suck it. You got Polly throwing the turkey out. You want your dinner? There it is. Go get it. I just love how he does that, but he comes back with the turkey leg in his hand. So, like, he threw out the turkey, but he's like, I'm still going to have some, though. Rest in peace, Burt Young, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, so he goes back, and they're immediately thrown off by this guy, and the way their daughter is dressed and acts and everything. And also, it is later revealed that she had ulterior motives for bringing him, because she knew that, his name's Chip, isn't it? Chip? I'll call him Chip. By the way, if your name is Chip, you're automatically a piece of shit. I'm just saying. Except for the cup, the teacup from Beauty and the Beast. He's okay. Otherwise, any other Chip, piece of shit. Anyway, and that's this guy here too. And of course, if you are a character played by Dan Gauthier, more than likely, 50-50 chance you're going to be a piece of shit. Because that's 2 roles I've already talked about, but he's a piece of shit. And I keep saying that over and over again. But you know what? Why not? Anyway. So anyways. He goes there, and she's afraid that Chip is going to produce to her, propose to her. Excuse me. I can do that too. The proposal. Yeah, propose to her, not produce to her. I don't know what the hell that means, but propose to her. So Crawl, thinking on his feet, says that he already proposed to her, and she said yes. Yeah. So, in a way, this works, but it feels like they knew how to start it, but they don't know how to end this because it just becomes like, it's going to be this romantic comedy, but they do end up falling for each other. Although it never gets to that real romantic comedy. They have a connection, but it never gets to that point where they don't. I don't think they actually kiss once. So it never gets to that point really. So when you get to that scene at the end, towards the end, where she finds him and Tiffany Amber Thiessen in the barn, it's like, yeah, sure, but why do you care so much? It's like, I gotta have a connection, and she may be falling for him, but there's really no big thing like that, It would have worked better, in my opinion, if they were actually going to get married. If she met him, they fell in love, and they were going to get married, and Mr. Chip over here, I think his name is Chip. I don't know. Wasn't there a character? There's a Chip and Friends. He wasn't he a piece of shit too because he dumped her or something. Then he came back and got with Monica, and I think he was a piece of shit there too. I don't know. But see what I mean to the freaking ADHD. Anyway, I'm really ADHD today. I'm sorry. I apologize. This is just all over the place with this review. Anyway. So yeah, I think it would work better if they were actually going to get married. If they were actually engaged, and then that scene would work better. But as it stands, it just feels like we had to do something so they can have a third act breakup. Even though they're not technically together, we still need that in a movie that's sort of a romantic comedy. And the most of the movie is Crawl endearing himself to the parents, the grandpa, all that. He gets the mom all guzzied up, dad, and then he hits that. And he's already best friends with the brother. Day 2, they're there. Maybe because I think they do kiss because she's like, oh, thank you for what you're doing, and she kisses him. And then the next day, he's like, hey, you left me with that. Left me with a semi. It's semi. Semi. He's got a giant truck in his pants. Left me with a semi. Which... Nah, I'm not gonna... But yeah, in the semi. But it's okay, your brother hooked me up with some stuff because he's got a bunch of Playboys. He has a subscription. Don't you need a credit card to do a subscription? And wouldn't they be getting the bills for that? I doubt he has a bank card, even in 1993. I don't know anymore, I guess. No, yeah. So I did he's got a kind of connection when he connects with everyone. There's this scene where this is really played off like it's nothing, and it really should be more than that. But Crawl goes fishing with the dad and the grandpa, during which the grandpa has a heart attack. So Crawl's first instinct is to do CPR, which won't work on someone who's having a heart attack, but somehow it works. Or the idea of him doing mouth-to-mouth jolted his heart enough. And then they just go home after that. It's like, wait, he had a heart attack. Take him to a goddamn hospital. What are you doing? He's like, it's okay. He just had a little episode. He had a heart attack. It's like, what if you're out in the ocean and you get bit by a shark, your arm's gone? Oh, it's okay, he's had an episode. He just goes home. Square down. Oh, it's fine, just had a little episode. I'm on a lightheaded now, but that's fine. I'm taking that. And I think a heart attack is worse than a shark bite. Because you can survive shark bites. Yeah, I guess you can survive heart attacks too, but I think I don't know. It's just all played off too easy. Like, oh, he just had an episode. It's okay. He had a heart attack. You should take him to the hospital. But they don't. They just play it off like, oh, it's okay. It's a little thing. It's a little thing. Yeah. So, Chip. I don't even know if that's his name, but I'm going to keep calling him that. Because it's a real piece of shit name for a piece of shit like him. So, Chip decides he's going to have a bachelor party for Crawl. And you know this shit's going down. Also, the farmhand Theo is also in on this. And again, that's another aspect where it's like, but why? Like, he doesn't like him. But like the others, I feel like he warms up to him a little bit. He's like, I don't like you, but you're alright. Like, I don't know. They needed him to have a henchman, so Theo is the one. And all it does is get him fired at the end. So, there's Tracy, who is Tiffany Amber Thiessen, who Chip is seeing on the side. Did I mention he was a piece of shit? And he was ready to propose to Becca. Yeah, a real... Jeff Goldblum, will you... Please. Now that is one big pile of shit. Exactly. What's that? We have Adam Sandler? What's that? Here's a nice piece of shit. Yes, of course. You are both right. Gentlemen, please adjourn to your rooms. Go! No gibberish right now. Go. No, us. Sorry about them. I am really ADHD today, aren't I? Something's getting me. Little tangents. Anyway, so have this bachelor party at this place. We get him singing "Thank God It's a Country Boy" before Tracy comes in and just starts dancing. And if you grew up in the era of Saved by the Bell and you had a thing for Tiffany Amber Thiessen, and that's two women in this movie that make me go, Beavis, what was that phrase? Bang! Right. What he said. Now go in there with the others. Right. Anyway, so Chip drugs them, and then they wake up in the barn the next day and can't remember what happened. However, Tracy assesses her car. She finds the pill bottle, and her seat is pushed way back. Now, Theo is an idiot, but I feel like if you're setting something up, just I don't know, just cover your tracks. But no, that's how it's outed, because he and Tracy, he goes to leave, and on Thanksgiving, where's he gonna go? You're not getting any flights on Thanksgiving. It's closed. So he's just walking on the road till Tracy rolls up and say, hey, we need to talk. And then they go back to the house. And after all this, everything in this movie, Chip still wants to propose? I mean, we've been through all this, how much he hates Kroll, how we know that he's cheating with Tracy on the side. At this point, I think she even knows it. And then he's still... What is this guy's deal? Yeah, what's your deal? What is this guy's deal? Why is he so obsessed with marrying this woman when you know it's not going to be a faithful marriage? What is his obsession? What's his obsession? I want to know why you want to get with Carla Gugino. Why? What is the... Because they have to have this, because that's what you want to do the whole time. I just don't get it. But then Kroll and Tracy come in, and they're like, no, actually, we don't remember what happened, but we think we know why. And they have the pills, and my seat was pushed way back, and Theo's like, okay, did it. He's like, well, Theo, I appreciate your honesty, but you're fired. So he leaves. And Chip was also kicked out. Again, I don't even know if his name is Chip. I don't care at this point anymore. Yeah, well, he gets beat up by Crawl because there's a running joke where he says, "I did this for 2 semesters." So he took karate for 2 semesters, and then in the nuts, les bolos, as I would say, les bolos, just les bolos. And then he's kicked out, and Tracy's allowed to sit at the Thanksgiving, and then they have a Thanksgiving. Also, they're about to come clean about it being a lie, but then Crawl turns around and is like, "We decided to wait." And the dad's like, "That's a great idea. Just let it wait out." Now, here's a question, because the movie ends here. Do you think they ever got married? I think no. I think they ended up just wanting to be friends. Because, and I base that on the fact that other than that one kiss, there's not really any major chemistry. I think it's going to feel like it's like a relationship thing, but then they're going to come to the conclusion that, I think they're just better friends. Which is what they should have led with at the beginning. I guess. But really, when she found him and Tracy in the attic, she should just laugh. Well, he's not really my fiance anyway. It should have been the dad that found him and gets all pissed. And then that's when I have to come clean and be like, he's not really my fiance. He's my friend. And we have the less, because they really don't have any chemistry. And there's not really much of romantic comedy stuff going on, really. It just feels like it's forced in there. So I think that could have been a better ending, where it's like, well, he hooked up with Tracy. Well, we're not really engaged. And just did that. Because she never gets to come clean to anyone. Crawl confronts her. It's like, "Oh, you just did that because you didn't want to have to deal with Chip." And that's never really confronted. That's never really thrown out there. Because, I don't know. It just feels like we have to wrap everything up with a bow. Let's go. There's not really any big thing or anything, But I'll give it a low pretty good. I enjoyed this movie. I laughed a lot. So, yeah. So what are your thoughts on Southern Law? Never comes slow. Like, share, and subscribe. Tomorrow, back to TV Tuesdays. And we're looking at something I've seen maybe once before when it was on Disney Channel. But it originally aired on Wonderful to Disney. It's called H-E double Hockey Sticks, starring Will Friedle and Matthew Lawrence. And Rhea Perlman, I believe, is the devil. If the picture is, if that's her, I have to look it up. I'll have to watch the movie, actually. I remember watching it once all the way through when I was younger, because it had Eric from Boy Meets World on it. Eric and Shaq, I guess. But Eric's always my favorite character. So, yeah, we'll see. It's been a while. These TV ones are going to get weird. Not next week's, but the one afterwards is another wonderful Walt Disney one that I found because of Felis and Lupa. So, yeah, we'll get to that one. Anyway, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.